fellow by the name of Jan Carlsen ran a company called SAS. He runs it. Turned it around, in fact, over the last few years. The magic of Carlsen, in fact, was not that he went out and bought planes at $35 million a copy, but that, in fact, he took what he had and he shaped it up. He painted the planes he had, he trained his people in customer courtesy, gave them Calvin Klein design uniforms and so on and so forth, and took a company in the midst of that recession in Europe and airlines and turned it around from losing $10 million a year to making $70 million a year on $2 billion in sales. And did that during '82 and '83. Well, Carlsen says, in fact, that his magic was we did not seek to be 1,000% better at anything. We seek to be 1% better at 1,000 things. So to begin this litany talking about customers, I want to tell you we're not talking about anything spectacular. It is my principal prime conclusion in the last 3 years, whether your business is jet engines or whether it's peddling hamburgers, that if you simply treat your customer with common, ordinary, garden variety courtesy, you can have the lion's share of any market you want because you'll be alone. Their logic is simple. They say profits come from customer satisfaction, not the other way around. And so it's simple things like that. It's even simpler, though. In June of 1984, I was heading from Dallas to Detroit one night, in fact, to talk to the Domino's people. Flight got into Detroit on time, miracle enough, about 11:30 at night. It rained in Detroit for the prior couple of weeks, muddy as the dickens, had a hot rod of a pilot, took a fast right turn, dumped us into the mud next to one of the taxiways. For the next 30 minutes, he played sort of Junior Birdman, gunned the plane to try and blast us out. Net result was we didn't move, but he used up all the fuel, turning this 197-person plane into a sweaty, smelly, humid Detroit July place. So that's midnight. Midnight, they decide to start looking for buses, you know. For those of you who've ever been to the Metropolitan Airport in Detroit at midnight, you will know that the population of buses and bus drivers is fairly low. Finally, however, they did come across a 6-person van. Given FAA regulations, you had to drive about 3 miles from the plane to the air terminal, so it took 2 hours to unload the plane. Now, that sounds like a horrible story. It's not even my point. My real point is that in the course of that miserable, unpleasant 2.5-hour fiasco, never once did that little turkey in the front have the guts to come out of his little tin hut, walk down the aisle, and say, "I'm sorry." And see, that's the point, because I told that story a week or so later. Somebody came up to me after my talk, said, "You're right on the mark. I had one of those experiences that so many of us had. I was going to an important business meeting in London, got to London, told the bags are on the way to Cairo." But the upshot in this case, in this fellow's words, is he says, "Look, the airline treated me beautifully. Treating me beautifully because of the laws of physics doesn't get the bags back any sooner. But I was treated so well that I ended up writing the president of the airline a letter saying, what fantastic people you've got." And see, that's the point. And that's exactly the point. 6 years ago, we went out looking for policies and procedures and structures and devices. And we came back, and instead of that, we found pride and love and care and zest and enthusiasm and trust and courtesy and listening. Just simple stuff like that, but it works. Thank you very much.